Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to unlock literally all of Haven's masks in Fortnite, how to complete all of her challenges for every single one of these masks, and how to farm feathers the quickest way possible to unlock all of these masks before the end of Chapter 3, Season 1. Let's actually dive right into the video. Now, as you guys can see here, I've currently not purchased any of these masks, but I have unlocked all of them. Now, basically what that means is that for every mask, there is a challenge that you need to complete in order to actually unlock the ability to buy it. Now, later in the video, I will get into my best farming method for feathers, so if you're only here for that, then jump to the timestamp down in the description, down in the comment section, or just on your little playback bar. Wherever it actually is, there is a farming method later in the video. But for now, if you want a guide on how to complete all of the challenges, this is the place. Now, Haven's challenges are really annoying. Not because they're very specific and you need to do really specific things, but because they're just extremely grindy. You need to play so much of the game in order to unlock all of these masks, and you need to just do so much. For example, one of them is literally to just drive 5,000 meters in a car. It gets a bit annoying because at some point you're like, all right, I don't want to drive 5,000 meters anymore, but you still need to do it to unlock all of your masks. Now, as you guys can see on the second page, there's some I have not even unlocked yet, solely due to the fact that these ones, you actually do need to purchase all of the other Haven masks with your feather currency before you unlock them, and then these two are that you need to complete 20 daily quests, which is actually very annoying and takes a large amount of time, so these I'm going to be getting to later, but for now, I'm going to show you guys all of the other ones. Now, the majority of these quests, like I mentioned, are just grinding out stuff, but there are a few that I can give you guys some helpful tips on, and I will be doing that right now. So the first one I want to mention is this row of masks. This one is just to hunt boars, wolves, and chickens, which is extremely annoying because typically you'll come across those animals while you're playing Fortnite, but it seems that whenever you're looking for them, they all just instantly disappear. So my piece of advice for this would be to go to the center of the map, grab a car, grab a gun, and just drive around. Now make sure to have visualized sound effects on so that you can see when a chicken, boar, or wolf is near you, and that way, once you see it, you can instantly go ahead and kill it, and you will get progress towards that mask. Once you kill 5 of the specific one, you will unlock that mask, and you will actually unlock the ability to buy it with your feathers. For the Scale Stag mask, this one seems really annoying on the surface, but it's actually extremely simple. The challenge is to gather foraged items at different named locations, 3 to be specific. Now, all you're going to need to do here is grab a coconut, a banana, literally anything foraged from the ground or from one of those little supply boxes, and then once you get to the POI, drop it out of your inventory, pick it back up, and that is the completion of the quest. You just need to do that at 3 different named POIs, and you'll actually unlock yourself the ability to buy the Scale Stag mask. Now, the rest of the challenges, I'm gonna keep it a buck here with you guys. They're just annoying. I'm just gonna be honest here. You're just gonna need to load into games, you're gonna need to go into them, figure out what you need to do, and then just do it. There's no help I can give you on the rest of them, because I would literally just be telling you what you already know. If it says to ride a Colombo, then just land over at the well where he spawns at, which is right over here for those that do not know, and just stand on his back for 10 seconds, and then bam, that challenge is done. If it says feed him with a Clomberry, then go ahead and feed him with a Clomberry. I have a separate video on all of those spawn locations if you're having trouble finding a Clomberry. And like I said, if you guys want an even more detailed guide on all of these challenges, then just request it in the comments down below and I'll make it. But I think that you guys are smart enough to learn how to do this on your own, and I think that the tips that I've given you for the difficult ones should suffice for you guys to be able to unlock all of these. Now, the daily quest one, that one's just annoying. I'm gonna be honest with you guys here. This one is just gonna take some of your time of doing your daily quests every single day, making sure you do all 3 of them, and then if you even want to go the extra mile, you can do even more of them. So I did want to give you guys a bit of a spending spree, so as you guys can see here, we're just claiming an absolute ton of these, but unfortunately, there's still a lot left. Now, in total, you're going to need 400 feathers in order to unlock all of these. Now, today, Fortnite did just buff the spawn rate of these feathers and how often they'll actually drop from chests. The exact statistics are on screen right now of how often these feathers will actually be dropping from chests, and it's actually surprisingly very common now. That being said, they're still extremely difficult to farm. So, let's jump into the guide on how to farm the feathers now that I've showed you guys how to unlock all of the masks and unlock the ability to buy them all. Now, in terms of a farming method for these Haven feathers, it gets a bit annoying. I'm just gonna keep it 100% real with you guys. Once you actually finish all of your challenges and have unlocked the ability to purchase any of the masks, you still need to get all the feathers for it. So, this is my strategy for getting feathers for Haven, and I think that it is the most efficient one out there. Now, as you guys can see here, I have already landed on Spider-Man gauntlets. You can do this at literally any of their spawn locations. I just like the ones at the top of the map because I can immediately go over to this house. Now, once you get your Spider-Man gauntlets, there is no specific route that you really need to take. Your goal is just to open as many chests as possible. Now, obviously, the route that I am doing actually is probably one of the better ones. So if you want to follow it, just land over here, grab the Spider-Man gauntlets, come over to this house. Then I typically go over here, and then I rotate into Logjam Lumberyard to see if there's any remaining chests. You can also check over here at the 7 outpost and that bridge over there. There is a major loop that you can do in this area, but I would not recommend staying in the game for too long. I would actually recommend to back out of it fairly quickly, solely due to the fact that if you stay in the game for too long, you're going to be at a point in the game where all the chests have already been opened, and you're not actually going to be gaining many feathers. Now, as you're actually doing this loot route, there is one critical thing that you are going to need to have turned on, and that is visualized sound effects. Now, I know a lot of people are against this because they find their ears to be better than what they can see, but personally, I like my eyes better and I trust them more than my ears, so I turn on visualized sound effects to just see where nearby chests are, because the range of visualized sound effects is absolutely massive, and you can see chests from like miles away, so it's very, very useful when you're actually going through trying to find all of these Haven feathers, because not only does it give you extra range on all the chests, but it also allows you to pinpoint them once you actually get close enough to be able to find exactly what layer of the house they're on, where they are. For example, right here in this labyrinth, I was able to easily find this chest, and hey, that got me another Haven feather. Now, while I'm actually Spider-Manning over to my other location, I do want to touch on the point of landing at a very contested point of interest. For example, you could land at Tilted Towers, which has the most chest spawns in the game with 55. Obviously, the issue with landing there is that everybody else lands there. So the odds of you actually opening all 55 of those are literally 0%. So that's why I typically land at less contested locations, solely due to the fact that I'm not trying to die off the bat and then just get in this infinite cycle where I want to go someplace good, wait until a game where nobody is actually dropping there and I get the whole place to myself. But in reality, you're never gonna get that game. So just give up on trying to go to the extremely high chest spawn locations and go to the lesser known ones so that you can get guaranteed chests every single game. Now, one location that I will recommend is actually down here at Chonkers Speedway. It has the 3rd highest chest spawn in the game with 45, and Chonkers typically isn't that contested, solely due to the fact that it is very far off the edge of the map. So, Chonkers is definitely a good option if you want to try and get those big money games, but do just be warned that there will most likely be at least one other person landing there with you. So, you are going to need to be prepared to fight off that one other guy and actually fight for those Haven feathers. Now, currently, I'm about halfway done with my loop, and I'm currently about 5 minutes into this game, and I already have 9 feathers. That's almost 2 feathers a minute, which if we do the math out there, that's going to take 800 minutes, which may sound like a very long time, and it is, but it's gonna be a lot quicker than if you weren't doing this method. If you weren't doing this method, you might get, I don't know, 1 feather every 5 minutes, and then think of how long that's gonna be. That's gonna be 5 times 400 feathers that you actually need to get. So I would suggest doing this method if you really want to get all of those Haven masks by the time that this season ends. So now that I've actually finished my main loot route and I have actually gone to all of the places that I like to do, personally, this is my exact route. I start over here at the Spider-Man webs, I go up to this mansion, then I go all the way back here to these docks, then I go up to the bridge, then to the 7 spawn location, and then I end off, where am I right now? Over at the gas station, and that is my full entire route for farming these things. Now, I actually did skip the 7 outpost since it was already looted this game, and I still managed to get 12 feathers in about 6 minutes. So, like I said, that's about 2 feathers a minute, and that's going to be an extremely efficient way to get all of these Haven masks. Now, to be totally honest, I think that these are going to get buffed yet again, because I think that Fortnite does not want this process to be too difficult for players. I think that the odds of these getting dropped from chests is yet again going to get buffed, because today it got buffed, and I think that it will happen again in the future once people complain about it enough that it is taking too long, or maybe everyone's going to see this video and they're going to realize how efficiently they can do it with my farming method. But this has been how to unlock literally all of Haven's masks in Fortnite, how to farm her feathers, how to get every single one of those masks before the season ends. If you guys actually did enjoy this video, then please consider leaving a like on it and subscribing to the channel, as that would help me out a ton. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one.